Let's take a look at them real briefly, one at a time. Learning and growth. So here's how an organization tries to improve what it does, whether it be from an infrastructure standpoint, and that can be in a number of different ways. How does the organization develop what's called its human capital? How are they making sure that the employees are approaching their jobs and utilizing their skills to their maximum advantage? And that includes learning new skills at the right time as well. Information capital. So we see that a lot in technology, where organizations are investing more and more in data and information, and making sure that the right information is available to people is an important part of that. How does that information communicated? Once you have found something out, how does that get deployed out to the rest of the organization? And then organization capital is another one. The company culture, the company org structure, the culture that it cultivates among employees all play a role in helping to make sure that everything blends together appropriately. All right, so we've got learning and growth. We've got the process perspective. So here, and we've seen a lot of work over the past couple decades in streamlining business processes. So that's just from an operations standpoint, but you can think about all kinds of other processes, customer management processes, so CRM and a lot of those types of enterprise systems, and the process restructuring that goes with them has played a big role in that aspect. How the organization innovates is a process as well. What are the processes they have to innovate? Do they have an R&D, kind of a structured R&D approach to things? Do they use a skunkworks type approach, or maybe a combination? Do they encourage employees to pitch ideas? So innovation is another big area for companies. And then regulatory and social processes. So how does the company go ahead and make sure that they're meeting all the needs they have in those areas? All right, and then we get to more familiar territory, the customer perspectives. This basically goes down the line of, well, what is the value proposition that this organization is proposing to its customers? Are they competing on price? Are they competing on quality or style? Ubiquitousness, basically they're available everywhere. So you can think about McDonald's versus a gourmet burger place unique to your hometown. So McDonald's is everywhere. Starbucks is everywhere versus the local homebrew coffee shop. Service, what is the service profile of the organization? So all of that goes into the brand that the organization is pitching to the customer. All right. So how are they setting the customers up for satisfaction? So you've got Walmart competing on price and availability versus your luxury department stores. Certainly not competing on price, but maybe more on high quality goods, service, and so forth. And if we look at the example from the text, Starbucks, well, what are they doing? Are they competing on price? Most of us would probably argue no. We can go to Waffle House and get a cup of coffee for $1 or so. So how about quality? Quality, well, they're pitching a good cup of coffee, a good quality cup of coffee. They tout, their high quality blends and the various ways that they can prepare the coffee for you. And availability, certainly they have put themselves in lots of locations you and I are likely to go. City locations where they run into the same customers over and over again that are going into the office building next door or up the elevator from where they happen to be. They have actually taught their baristas to get their brews and their drinks going even before they get up to the order counter. So that's all part of the image that they have created. All right. And then finally, we get to the financial perspective, which, of course, is the end result of all of the other perspectives we've talked about, how does all of that translate into shareholder value, other operating results of the company, or, of course, for not-for-profit companies, whatever their objective happens to be. So you can look at other things like, well, what is the long-term viability of the company? How is it going to grow in the future? What kind of productivity are you getting from the people in the organization?